Today I officially begin the building of this van, and I begin this in the Home Depot parking lot. This video will probably be broken up into, well, this video will probably span over a number of days, maybe even a couple of weeks. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that. I might do a couple of days. We'll see. Now, the last video that I put out, I was talking about getting parts for the van and mechanical parts for repairs. Also, I'm using a new mic, so hopefully the sound will be better on this. So I talked about getting the rear shocks replaced. I also talked about some other stuff. I talked about the front strut towers. I talked about the washer fluid motor, the pump. I talked about the power steering pump, the wiper blades, and I think, and an oil change, and then the hood lift supports, and the lift gate lift supports. I have replaced the washer fluid pump. I have replaced the wiper blades. That job is complete. I also discovered that it is not my rear shocks, so I did not order new shocks, but instead, after looking at everything underneath it and checking everything out, I discovered that it's actually the bushings in my lower control arms. Not a big deal. Now, I looked in a lot of different places for just the bushings, and I was going to press the bushings out, the old bushings out, and then press the new ones in. But there was just so much confusion as to like whether or not it was the correct bushing. Like, none of the auto part stores seemed to have an accurate, decision on which part is the actual correct part. Amazon was kind of all over the place as well. So we did discover that the lower control arms actually come with that particular bushing already pressed in and installed. So while, yes, I may have been able to get the other bushings, just the bushings, good Lord, what are these idiots in this parking lot doing? Holy schmanoli. Anyways, so I decided to just go ahead and get new lower control arms, and the other bushings are fine. So there's two bushings on that lower control arm on each side. You have the ones that connect up to the frame, and then it goes down to the knuckle, and there's the bushings down at the knuckle. So you got two bushings on each control arm. So I went ahead and got both lower control arms. Now, the part stores, O'Reilly's, Advanced Auto, AutoZone, those places wanted $150 per control arm. I said, y'all are out of your damn mind. I said, y'all are a little too crazy on that price. I'm not spending $350 on control arms. I'm not doing it. So I looked around, continued to see if I could find the correct bushings and just go that route, because that was the better way to go, because they were all showing up around $20 to $30 a piece. So I looked on Amazon, and a brand that I used to use when I used to work on cars a lot, I found the lower control arms for this vehicle on Amazon Auto for $80 a piece. After taxes and everything, it came out to $174, $175, something like that, for both of them. So I went ahead and ordered those. So I am beginning the planning phase. Well, I mean, it's part of the build phase, right? So I'm gonna go into Home Depot here, and I'm gonna take a look at a couple of things. I'm gonna look at some installation options of what they have on the shelf. I want to minimize the amount of stuff that I have to order, simply because I don't want to be sitting around for weeks waiting for parts and stuff to get here. If it's on the shelf and I can get it on the shelf, I'm just gonna go ahead and get it. And then I'm also gonna take a look at some decorative like paneling. I'm not gonna do the cedar paneling or anything like that. The ceiling is not gonna be anything fancy either. You'll see, I'll show you, I'm gonna record some stuff while I'm in there. And I may end up just doing a voiceover, I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. I'm going to go in here to Home Depot and see what some of these options are. There is also a Lowe's across the street that I may take a look at. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into taking a look around Home Depot. All right, Home Depot trip done. I didn't show the paint section because, to be honest, the lady in the paint section was kind of rude. So this is, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but it's kind of like this is the paint code. It's the Behr Dynasty is the one I'm going with. It's going to be the carbon. So it's like a black satin, like a flat finish. And that's going to kind of be the base of the cabinetry color. And then I'll accent it with different like wood stain framing and stuff like that for the doors, and obviously the handles are going to have a different finish. So I think altogether it'll look nice. I'm probably just going to do a voiceover for that section. I don't know, we'll see when I get to editing it. Obviously you guys already know because I've already sent out the video. But anyways, yeah, that is where we're at. The paint was quite expensive. This stuff is it was 127 ounces, which it's like I guess that's like a gallon, whatever the gallon pail is. And it was $68. $68. I think one of those will probably do the job because it's the one coat Dynasty, Behr Dynasty stuff. So yeah, it's a more high quality premium paint, but it's supposed to have like stain and scuff resistance and stuff like that, and it's supposed to be like a one coat cover, which I think is perfect. And I can maybe stretch that entire gallon. I may have to go with a gallon, and then like there's smaller deals for little stuff like touch-ups and maybe some extra pieces if I run out is like 30 bucks. So, which is quite the ripoff if you think about it, because it's not even half a gallon. But it's half the price. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the lady in the paint section was actually kind of rude, and she just seemed like she didn't want to take a minute to talk to me and help me figure out which paint I'm supposed to get for this. So, yeah, Home Depot, do better. So far, this is kind of the list that I have. This is just in my notes app, where I keep all my shopping lists, other than Amazon and auto parts stuff. So, like, you know, I got sections for Walmart, Target, Publix, Home Depot, stuff like that. Home Depot, we have the weathered gray plank panel. It's a 4x8 sheet. We've got the 1x2 furring strips, the 2x2 furring strips, which I'm going to be using those for framing and stuff like that. And then the 2x4 studs, I may grab a couple of those just to kind of add some extra support for mainly the bed. I think everything else, the cabinets, can be built with the 1x2 and the 2x2s. But we'll see as we go. I'm trying to go lightweight, obviously. And then the half-inch 4x8 sheet of the ISO RMAT insulation. That's actually fairly cheap. It's like 18 bucks for the sheet. And I'm going to use that for the floor. So for the flooring, what I'm going to do is the carpet's going to come up. And then I'm going to put down a couple of furring strips to kind of assist with, you know, screwing things down, cabinetry and stuff, and keeping those locked in place. And then the half-inch insulation will be cut into pieces to go in between all of the furring strips. And then I'll lay a 1/4-inch sheet of cheap plywood on top of that. And then the flooring tile, which I'm going to go with the walnut ember gray vinyl flooring. It's a peel and stick, which will be perfect for this. I don't need nothing fancy. So the floor may have a little bit of softness to it, but I'm okay with that because I'm going to be crawling around in this thing, and that's fine. We'll see how long it holds up, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. The weathered gray plank panels are going to do the walls, and then I'll put some furring strips and stuff where I need it to secure it, and then also secure some cabinets. And then for the ceiling, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I could do, obviously I need to insulate it, so I'll probably do another sheet of that RMAT insulation. For the insulation on the walls, they didn't have anything in there that I wanted, so I'm looking for like a Thinsulate alternative, right? The Thinsulate is just too expensive. All because it has the 3M brand name on it. Now, I found some off-brand stuff on Amazon that has some decent R value, and I'll probably end up honestly just ordering that for the walls and little crevices and stuff that I can't get to. So everything else that was like a sheet of, you know, flexible stuff in Home Depot was fiberglass based. I want zero fiberglass. No fiberglass. One, because it's a pain to deal with when you're putting that stuff in, because you just get all itchy and everything. Two, I've heard that it's not good to use the fiberglass stuff in a van build. I don't know. Anyways, so and then I found some like some big mats of like rubber fake like deck plate printed kind of stuff that I'm going to use for the garage area. And yep, and then the paint. So Yep, that's kind of where we're at with the Home Depot shopping list. Now, there's obviously some little things in there that I'm going to have to add to the list, like, you know, nails, screws, glue, for wood glue and for spray glue, for putting insulation and stuff in certain places. Maybe some expandable foam spray. We're gonna need some sort of like sealer, construction sealer, for filling in a couple of holes in the back that some bolts came out of when I removed the seats and the seat belts and everything. So, you know, some little things like that. Now, as far as tools, I pretty much have all the tools I need access to at the house, at my parents' house. So I'll be using those. I don't have to buy my own set just yet, but I will end up buying my own set of tools, power tools, battery operated power tools, as I go. I'll kind of buy them as I need them, buy it as I go. That way I have my own set. I do have like some mechanic tools, you know, wrenches, ratchets, sockets, stuff like that. Screwdriver set. So, I mean, I don't have like nothing, right? But anyways, that's kind of where we're at with the shopping list of Home Depot. All right, gonna give a quick update here. I have 1/4 inch R mat. It's gonna be a 5 R value, not the greatest, but it'll do. Then I got this 1/4 inch sanded plywood to go down over top of it. I have pulled all the carpet out. There's my furring strips over there. I've cut the anchor points for the seats, and then I just sprayed it with some black Rust-Oleum. Gonna let that dry. Swept it out and everything. Got some bolts and holes and stuff that I need to seal up. But that's where we're at now. I think this is the fuel pump access, and then I got the spare tire access over there. So I got a notch. I got to cut a little section out of the flooring to be able to access those 2 points. But other than that, it's coming along. I took the other panel out over there. That's the AC unit for the rear. I'm going to take the speaker out, and then build the framing around all of that so I can keep the rear AC unit. And I am going to keep the liner, the headliner. I'm going to take it down, insulate it. I'm going to get rid of a couple of things like this entertainment center. All right, quick little update again. I didn't record a lot of this just because it's been an absolute pain, because the floors are just not even. The measurements are just all over the place. It just was not a fun process to do. So I've got this front part glued down. That's the access port. I got a panel right here. That's just going to go over it. I got to put some insulation on that, so when I put that back down, it at least has something there. So that's done. This is all glued down. I got insulation underneath it. All this stuff sitting on top of it to kind of weigh it down. I don't have that one glued down yet. It's kind of just sitting off a little bit. But yeah, I gotta get that glued down. The only thing is I've ran out of things to put down on it to weigh it down, to help hold it down while the glue dries. So I don't know. I'll have to look around and see if I can find some more stuff to weigh down the board. But that is where we're at. And then this whole back section here, I'll figure something out for that. All right, now that the flooring is done, the subfloor, I've got the tape laid out showing the layout of the cabinets and everything. I got the speakers removed. Speakers have been removed. It's going to be an interesting process doing the cabinets. I think I'm going to build them to the size. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. But so the bed is going to stop here at this line right here. And it's going to go back. It's going to be sitting up at the level of the fender well. It's going to go all the way back to the back. That's going to be 6 foot. I am 5'7", so 6 foot's plenty. And then let's go a wider angle here so you guys can see a little better. And then, so width, it's like 2 foot 4 inches. And I'm going to have a 6-inch foam mattress that I got to cut up and everything. So this section is going to be able to tilt up, you know, like that, so I can have a back to face out towards the back. Or the other way around, over there, the piece is going to be able to kick up so I could sit and face back towards the driver's side of the front of the vehicle. And then this side and the center piece is going to be separate. It's going to be 3 separate pieces. The center piece and this piece here are going to be able to kick up, and everything's going to slide back, which is going to give me more room here. So like right now, this is the edge of the bed flattened out, fully unfolded. That's the edge of the cabinets. So I already have a little bit of space there. Being able to do, you know, kick it up, slide it all back. It's going to give me more room in the middle during the daytime when I'm not sleeping. This section back here is marked out to leave a space for the fridge because the fridge is going to be back in that area. This is going to be all cabinets. Cabinets are going to go up probably right about there. I don't know yet. We'll see. And then the water, drinking water and gray water, and then the sink will be there, and the cabinets and everything. This area will remain open to get in and out of the vehicle from that side. And then this area here is going to be another cabinet. It's going to come up and then follow the angle that I have a comfortable sitting position, and then straight up again, and then over, and then back down to this line there. It's going to be a little weird, but it'll work. And then the bed is not going to block this, and the cabinet's not going to block this either. I'm going to have to work something around this, maybe bring the cabinet back to here, or just notch out a section in the cabinet or something. I don't know, I'll figure that out, because I got to be able to access that if the fuel pump ever goes out. And then I have my access point for the spare tire to drop the spare tire down. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. And then underneath is going to be all storage. I got to insulate and everything all back there. So I'm kind of on hold right now until I get some more insulation and plywood. And then I also got to get some 2x2 and 2x4, as well as some hinges. And then I got to get some stuff to build the cabinets, put the cabinets together. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we're at. And then the top, I still got to do the fan, the vent fan and all that stuff. So I got to insulate the ceiling and all that as well. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Just figured I would give it a little update and see if there's enough content here to put a little video together and get something out on the channel at least. But yeah, that's where we're at, and that's where I'm going to leave it for now. And I'll get back to you for another update as soon as I can.